Freeman's here. Welcome to All the Gear, No Idea, the show that I do on weekends where you control the topics, you control the questions, and you control where the show goes. I've got the computer, I've got the internet. If you've not subscribed to it already, please do. But let's get on with the show. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too.
Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's Sunday. It's 1:30. I thought I'd do a little live show, just to have a little catch up. See if anyone wants to come on, have a little talk about yesterday's game and the season going forward. It won't be a sort of season wrap up show because we'll probably do that, next weekend. Where there'll be a lot more to discuss, where it's gone right, where it's gone wrong. But today we're just going to have a little chat, maybe answer some questions, have a little bit of fun. So yesterday, like I said, I did my review, didn't I? And it might be a little bit quiet, sorry guys. So yesterday I did my review of the game, didn't I? Disappointing, wasn't it? Deflating. Afternoon, Rich, and afternoon, John. Nice to see you guys in the chat. Yeah, I feel everyone's a little bit deflated today. I watch West Ham Fan TV and Hammers Chat. I watched both their reviews. West Ham Fan TV, they were really, really disappointed, weren't they, with the result, and the debate that they had was fantastic. I thought Nicky, the nail on the head, frustration towards the board. We have to, our anger towards them again, when this season is over. Because, if we was invested in properly, we could have had a Leicester sort of situation, West Ham, where it's us competing for FA Cups and stuff like that, and us, really going for it in terms of the four as well. I just don't want the season to tail off now. I said that this morning, didn't I, in my review? It would be heartbreaking now if it was to really just, go right, and we lose those last two games, or even draw them last two games would be quite disappointing, to be honest with you. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys reckon on that? We can hear that noise, guys, but don't worry about that. Right, let's see. Let's have a look at yesterday's game anyway in a little bit more detail, shall we? Then, if anyone decides that they want to come on in a minute, they can. Okay. So, apologise. I'm going to use that site that we always use, when we're doing our reviews and stuff like that, to sort of more in-depth bit of knowledge on the game. As I say, I do love this website. I'm hoping some people come on in a minute. I would like to JP, or it would be quite a nice one to talk to, or James, or even Andy if he wants to come on. So here we go. So West Ham Brighton match report. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look, guys. So West Ham versus Brighton match report. Here we go. So I know you guys have watched the match, but it's it's good to go into stats. So match summary is here. So Brighton were most effective at creating goal scoring opportunities with through balls. Were effective at creating opportunities from long shots and situations. Sam created a high number of chances relative to their possession, and were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from long shooting situations. Let them down yesterday, I think we all know. Our poor finishing. Yesterday, they liked long shots. They attacked through the middle a lot and favoured the through ball. West Ham, ourselves, we had a large amount of possession in the opponent's half and favoured long shots, had a high frequency of shot possession. In terms of attempts, we had 10 from open play. We had 15 open play, 2 set pieces, and 1 from the counter attack. They had 10 shots, 1 goal, with 10% conversion rate. We have 15 shots with 1 goal, with a 6% conversion rate. If you want interested in our pass, guys, so our passing type, we made more passes than us. We put in quite a few crosses, a few long balls, and a short passing. So they had slightly more passes than us, and the average passing streak was 5 for them and 6 for us. In card situations, only one card in the game, I believe, and that was Basuma early doors. You can see here, so, we know this anyway. We attack loads down the left-hand side. We know that. And yeah, as Richie says there, our decision making was terrible yesterday. So yeah, a lot of their attacks come from here. Our shot direction, interesting on this, mostly through the middle for both teams. The shot zones, most of ours, look, that says a lot. You see, a lot of ours were outside of the box, just in the 18-yard box. Same for them, really, 8% outside the box. Action zones, most of it was in the middle of the park, and when it's middle of the park, that usually means it probably is a draw. And there's West Ham's average position, as you can see there, with Antonio and that constantly sort of in these wing positions rather than through the centre. Jesse Lingard sort of occupying the centre a lot there. But the wing backs were high up, Sufal and Sufal and Cresswell, so that's nice to see. Yeah, and if you have a look at their ratings, they give Dan Burns man of the match, their defensive centre, Souček Dan man of the match according to this website, so interesting. Due to lack of backup, especially at striker, and inexperience, we're just starting to lose our mojo. It's all experience, and Ben Rama got a goal. Just have to learn from our mistakes from next season. Yeah, mate. Maybe that's it. Maybe we're not there. We're not used to being there. With in my lifetime, the times we've been around it, but never. It's like proper disposition. Where it's like really like there. To be won. Yeah, like you say, mate, it's a learning curve. If we do, if we're in and around that sort of top six again next year, which I don't think we will be, but who knows? We'll learn from that. We'll know what it takes. This last 10 games of the season, you really have to put your work in. Otherwise, the first 28 games are meaningless. Afternoon, Luke, disappointing that we didn't win. Not all. Some people was hoping other results went our way. We didn't lose. And a point to help our Europa League push. Still in our hands as it stands. It certainly is, mate. Richard Cox, that's Jake's dad, says hi. Nice to see you, mate. So let's have a look at the league table, guys. Listen, I know you guys have seen it. It's just a little bit more into perspective when we have a proper chat about. So if my throat sounds a little bit off, guys, I sound a little bit quiet. I have slightly under the weather a little bit. Not totally myself today. Usually I'm a bit more chirpy, proper cockney knees up, but yeah, not the best today. Yeah, so we're still six with 2 games to go. These guys right up there, obviously they play Wolves. I think in a minute actually they play Wolves about 4 o'clock-ish possibly, or maybe even 2 o'clock. So Wolves need to do us a favour, otherwise they will go level on us, or actually they'll go above us because of goal difference as well. Obviously Everton as well, very, very close to us, and like Arsenal that were nowhere near us a few weeks ago. If they win their last 2 and we don't, they could overtake us. Leeds, which our goal difference should just keep us away from them. If we have a look at Everton's last few fixtures, Everton play. Let's have a look. Everton play Sheffield United today. Today at 7 o'clock. Should win that. No one should be losing to them. Then they play Wolves and they play Manchester City. So, mate, if we win out 2 and should get in by Manchester City on the last day, there'll be fans there. There'll be a big party atmosphere, for their title. What else we got? Let's have a look at Tottenham's games. Tottenham, the last 2 games, like I say, they got Wolves in a minute, literally in about 20 minutes' time. And then they play Villa and Leicester, who, again, will be buzzing after their FA Cup win. And probably, have well and truly secured a top 4 position. So hopefully they can lose 2 of them games. Who else was it around us? Oh, yeah, Arsenal. Last one, Arsenal. Arsenal have Crystal Palace and Brighton. If Brighton play like they did yesterday, they can do us a bit of a favour there. So yeah, let's go back in. One kicks off at 14:05. Yep, about 15-20 minutes time. If Super League is on again, we might be specials for top 6 next season. Might be, mate. What do you guys make of the Europa League conference? I know, it's a bit of a debating topic at the moment. I know Gio's very keen. Watching his video, he's very keen on Europa League conference. I believe Gonzo was slightly like he wasn't that bothered, and there's a few others that are not. I quite like the idea actually, and I thought Gonzo's video was put across very, very well actually. Fact that we can use that as a sort of a youth project, and a fringe player project, to keep the fringe players sharp. The Europa League, I'm not saying Europa League conference, the Europa League was, what sort of platformed Harry Kane, for his start. Harry Kane got his start for Tottenham. He went on to develop really well. And if there's a chance for players like Coventry, Ashby, for example, Alessi, Odebekus, you can play 4 or 5 of them in a team, mixed in with like a Lanzini, Diop, for example, give Masuaku more time, Johnson more time. I'm all for it. If they're guaranteed, I don't know how many games you're guaranteed in that Europa League conference. If it's like 6 games, if those guys can get 6 competitive games in Europe, then great for them. Europa League though, slightly different. We'd need a bit of depth in our team. Really give that a good go. I think we're more or less guaranteed the group stage if we finish 6th. I'm not sure what happens if we finish 7th. Anyone who wouldn't want Europe is. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to be difficult. Of course, it's difficult when you're playing. You're playing all those games. It is very difficult. When you're playing Thursday, Sunday, or if it would have been Champions League Wednesday, Saturday. It is difficult. And with a small squad, a paper thin squad like we've got, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. This is where Gordon Sullivan have to step up. This is the debate that's going to go on. West Ham Fan TV. They were going at each other last night, and it was just a great watch. These are guys that are passionate and love West Ham. They're not rowing with each other because they don't like each other. They're rowing because it is it is so frustrating. It's very frustrating. And that's nothing to take away from this season. This season's been magnificent. The players have been magnificent. It's just if we had a little bit of ambition, not us. We have it. The players have it. If we had a board like Leicester, and again, Leicester are few and far between board wise. If we had a board that good, how good a club could we be? They're chairman. He loved the club. He loved the fans. That experience yesterday, I tweeted it. When Leicester won it yesterday, joy. Chelsea won it 9 times. Yes, of course they love winning the trophy every year. Their fans love it. To see a team like Leicester, it's like West Ham. It felt like it would. Obviously, West Ham won it, it'd feel even better because it's their own club. You could see like the fans. They've won the league a few years ago. Now they've won the FA Cup, and they're getting that nice bit of success. So they've established themselves as a good top 6 club now. Leicester, more so than Spurs. We're talking about Spurs getting invited into this Europa Super League crap. Nah, mate, Leicester. Leicester are a top 6 club now. They have a ceiling, and they're a magnificent club. There's a slight, there's a few players that will need to be replaced in the next couple of years. But some of them players yesterday, Tielemans, what a player. Maddison, what a player. Fofana, listen, that Fofana, we should have been all over that. And why we didn't pay the money, again, just shows that lack of ambition. Because I believe he would have come to West Ham. I really, really do. Sorry, Richie, I'll just skip your comments. So let's just go back to that. So Palace just beat Villa 3-2. That's a shame. On my Super 6, I had Villa to win 2-1. Now we just need to stab off Tottenham. which is some achievement as they are part of the Ridiculous Six. Bring them back the Intertoto Cup. That was a great experience. Yeah, no one was moaning then. Listen, I was only 16 at the time. Listen, I remember them first games. FC Jokerit, over there for that. Heerenveen, when Fat Frank scored that absolute weldy from 30 yards. Look it up on YouTube. Obviously, it was the Mets game, wasn't it? Which was a brilliant night. And then obviously the Star Bucharest, who we went out to 0-0. I think we had something ridiculous. I don't know whether Kent's in the chat. I think we had something ridiculous, like 22 shots on target that game against Steaua Bucharest in a 0-0 game. So yeah, that was great memories. That Intertoto. And then obviously we had bloody Kubara, wasn't it? Cabera, I can't remember what they're called. And then obviously the dreaded Astra Gugu twice. Listen, it's great to play these like just clubs that you don't hear of. Obviously, we'd all love to have played Barcelona's and Milan's and Juve's and PSG's, but it's nice to up these obscure teams. I know when when we was in Europe during that Astra Gugu times and that, it was good, to go and look up and do research about these clubs that you've never seen before. So yeah, bring it on, bring up some sort of Cypriot club or some Maltese club that we've never heard of. It's good. It's an adventure. Nicky was silent on the board for a while. As soon as he gets let down, he kicks them out. I love Nicky. That was reactionary. Obviously, GSB are pricks, and I don't defend them. Yeah, I think he was really angry yesterday. I think he was just really, really frustrated yesterday. I can't words in Nicky's mouth or anything like that, but I've really enjoyed his rant. I think it was, from the heart. No one can deny, Nicky from West Ham Fan TV is an incredibly passionate West Ham fan and has serious passion and for see our club do well. And credit to him for that. Keep fighting the fight, mate. Yeah, I do understand what Scotty and Ryan was saying also. Scott and Ryan saying, this is a conversation for the end of the season now. We've just got to through those last two games and what we can to get behind the boys, which is fair enough as well. There's two sides to the argument. Yeah, definitely at the end of the season, this is something that we have to discuss. How long can it go on for? As Nicky said, it's been 10 years of this now. We keep beating ourselves, taken from our spiritual home that we can never go back to. How long can it go on for? How long can this just getting on with dregs? What is frustrating most, because it is inevitable, if Paul and Sullivan are still there in 2 years' time, and it is that smaller space of time, and Rice will not be there. If in a 2-year period we got taken over, say for example, by someone like a Leicester owner, the guys that were going to take over Newcastle, for example, and we went and had a few statement signings, we'll go and get this guy, for example. And by statement signings, I'm not going to say go and buy Mbappe or anyone like that. I'm talking about you're going to, I don't know, like a Leicester, not Leicester, sorry, you're going to like an Everton, for example, and you go, right, we're going to go and get Richarlison, for example, like their best player. You're going to get one of the top 10's best players, or you go into Leeds and straight away you can go, right, I'm going to get Bamford. Those sort of statements, proven Premier League players. Yeah, then that would send a message out to Rice. But at the moment, I don't think we can fulfill Rice's ambition. I really don't. That's no, I would have no disregard for the man when he does go. If we have not bought well and, shown a bit of bollocks and bought some decent players in, you can't discredit the guy at all. Same with Moisey. Moisey don't sign a new contract, not given the full backing in the summer. I'd sit here right now and say, I'm so glad you have not you've walked away, mate. So glad you walked away. Hi, what did you think about Ben Rahm's goal? A fantastic goal, mate. Shame it weren't the winner, weren't it? I know he's had that in his locker. I made a point of watching a lot of Brentford last year. Mate guy who came off the Newcastle preview, if you remember that, Sam, said, "Oh, you need to watch this guy, Marama in the Championship. He's a top player." Watched him, fell for his skill, and he's cutting his side. It will come. It will come. Yes, he has been frustrating. I know Paul don't particularly like him. The channel yesterday when he scored the goal, he went, "Oh, 25 million for one goal. That's great. He's worth the money." I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair that. Listen, I can understand the criticism. In time, he will get better. I think now that goal's come, it's a huge weight off his mind. He wasn't. Hopefully, won't be trying. So, when I say trying so hard, when you over try, you can pull a shot, you can overplay a pass. Hopefully, now he can. Weight off his shoulders can be lifted. Legend in the chat, Peachy Peach, all the way from Canada to Ledge. Mark Higgins. That's a great thing about football, a truly global game like no other. We haven't had many statement signings, more question ones. Yeah, that's very valid, mate. Very valid. But I know he's a bit injury prone. But for example, if we went and here's a good example. Actually, here's a good example of a player I really like, and I would love him at West Ham. Statement signing at West Ham's current level is like going to get a James Ward-Prowse or someone like that. Fantastic player, absolutely fantastic player. Lingard is a bit of a statement signing, to be fair. Someone like that. That shows that real ambition. Go and get someone like that. That guy we linked with the Hoslek, is that his name? Hoysek. Him, Simmer would be an absolute statement signing. One of the hottest prospects around the world. Take away Haaland, take away Mbappe, etc., and a few of those elite names. Next on it is at least the Simmers and people like that. Come and get them. Make a statement for one. So true what Nicky says about the poverty. Why are we the only club that cries poverty? Only club all the time. Oh, we haven't got much money. I'm so bored of it. I'm so bored of it. What's a fair wage for Moyes? I heard he's absolutely guns at the moment. It's not about the wage, mate. A manager, whatever you want. That's not the be all and end all of a manager. For me, I don't think Moyes is that obsessed with the money as well. Putting on 50 grand a week or whatever. But what he wants is the ability to build that coaching team, build that scouting network, and just. He said, didn't he? I think it was last summer. He needed 3 summer transfer windows. He's had his one. Henry bought in Lingard. Maybe should have bought in a striker. Very interesting to see what he brings in this summer. He clearly got a striker that he's got his eye on. Potentially a midfielder. Get a couple out the door. Now see what he does. He's shown what he can do. It'd be very interesting with fans back, obviously, as well, to see how that plays out as well. It's not about the wage, mate. It's just letting him do what he wants to do so he can die on his own sword, Would you drop Lingard for the next game? He has been off the ball for 4 or 5 games now. Yeah, he's looking a bit tired, mate. But again, that comes down to, not playing a lot of football. When he came, in January was unbelievable. Burst on the scene, scored 9 goals, been incredible. Arguably could have got himself into the team of the season for the Premier League. And a shout for Hammer a year as well. You could argue that he's very tired and maybe he does need a little bit of a rest, mate. But he's one of the only difference makers, mate, that can actually try and make something happen. And we do need to go and win these last 2 games now to finish on a high. Luke, what's your channel email, my friend? It's a personal email, mate. Tell you what. A private message. I'll tell you later, mate. I'll tell you what. If you leave a comment, mate, I can give it to you. Luke, how would you have Luke, would you have Graham from West Ham Fancy if he's director of football? Absolute legend. He is, mate. He's such he's so cool and calm, isn't he, old Graham? Very, very knowledgeable as well. You know, he doesn't talk too much on the channel, but when he does talk, you listen. You know, he's one of those sort of guys. You can tell he's got a lot of experience, you know, at football and, you know, running football clubs. You know, even low level stuff. You know, he's obviously not. He's not Premier League chairman or anything, but you can tell, you know, he knows about dressing rooms and banter and stuff like that. So, yeah, I do like him a lot, Graham. With Fulham going down, what do you think that says about Scotty Parker's managerial skills? I think with Scotty, mate, I think he's been a bit unlucky. And again, I'm talking with Claret and Blue blinkers on a little bit because I do love Scotty Parker. I think they played some lovely, lovely football this year. I think they've got too many Championship players. You know, he hasn't given, you know, resources to, you know, even just make them stable. You know, they missed a hell of a lot of chances this year as well. You know, in games that I've watched, you know, where they've really dominated teams. They just haven't had that quality, mate. I like him as a manager. I think he'll learn a lot from it. Pray to God he doesn't go to Tottenham, purely because I'd like to see him as West Ham manager one day. If he went to Tottenham and took them down, I wouldn't be against that either. Who knows? Hopefully he stays at Fulham. You know, if he gets them back up, then he's done a good job. You know, I say it's a tough old league, mate. It's a tough old league. I think again they just ran out of steam at key times. You know, you look at crucial points in their season. You know, the Lookman penalty against us, for example, would have been completely different. You know, their season, little turning points like that. You know, he has no control over how Lookman takes that penalty. And there's been a few like that with Scotty, mate. I do like him. I do like Scotty a lot. I'm a fan of him. It's a good job for Fulham. Their big owners are on loan because their wage bill would be ridiculous in the Championship. They pay really well at Fulham. They certainly do, mate. Anything else, guys? Any other topics you'd like to discuss? It's just really, it's a bit deflating today. You know, I really like. It's just a shame that the Champions League dream is done for me. Because you know, I did start believing. I really did start believing. You know, I thought we was going to do it. I really, really did. And that's where it's ridiculous, guys. That is where it's ridiculous that, you know, we really did genuinely believe we were going to do it. I did. I thought we were. Much else, really. I'm just seeing if there's any damn news or anything. Obviously, we play Big Sam, you know, and I'll do a preview for that live in the week. Could be an interesting one. Yeah, do that, Peach, and then I'll email you. Yeah, if you do that, mate, I'll email you. The only reason is, mate, is I don't want to get, you know, and I trust all you guys in here, you know, most of you guys in here, but it only takes like one twat to get my email, and they just start spamming my email with a load of crap, you know. It's a good job for yeah, and he says, can I put it in chat? Yes, you can, mate. It's up to you, mate. If you feel comfortable putting your email in chat, you know, you might get all these beautiful women email you out of nowhere, mate. You never know. But yeah, I will email you, mate. If you put it in the chat, I'll email you. Not much in terms of West Ham news, actually. Like I say, we were linked with a few players. Nothing that major, really. Nothing that major. And I'm trying to avoid talking about the end of the season and being negative yet, because there are some negatives to talk about. I don't want to do that until next week. You know, I'm trying to just hold off and, you know, about the game and talk about the next two games coming up. Which teams would you like in a group in the Europa League? I don't know who's close to qualifying, mate. Let's have a look. Who is? What about like someone like Celtic in there? Someone like Celtic would be quite nice. one of the German clubs. I'm not sure, and I don't know who's close to qualifying, mate. I'll have a look now, see if there's any news on it. Let's look. Serie A. So Juventus apparently could be in the Europa League. So that could be one. Who else you got? Maybe someone like Seville. You're looking for, some of the more elite clubs that will be in there. And obviously you get the teams that fall out if you get to that next round. It'll be interesting as well. So yeah, why not? We have to beat the ex-fireman Sam and wave him goodbye. It's so good that he can't hold that anymore. In it, that I've never been relegated thinking that, that's nothing against West Brom or anything like that. It's just I can't stand the geezer. I'm so glad he can't use that anymore. His mantra, I've never been relegated. Man who measured himself on not failing rather than measuring himself on success. His success was not failing. And sorry, guys, if my eyes are just going off track a bit, I'm just emailing Pitch now. So I'm sure he's going to send me a video that can go on the channel. Not just right. Subject bar, mate. I've put the three hammers, all right? So have a look out for that email, mate. Right. Love Lazio. Lazio, yeah, forgot about them. Obviously, we've got a good affiliation with them. That'd be the Paolo Di Canio derby, wouldn't it? And I'm sure Paolo would be out in force for that one if that was the case. That would be a good one, mate. Yeah, that's a great shout. Do you think we'll go for a similar setup against West Brom on Wednesday? It was more or less the full team that you'd want out, and it barring like Masawako is the only one out now. So yeah, maybe Benrahma will come in for Bowen or Benrahma for Nowles potentially. That they seem to be the only two that he changes around, isn't it? It's a shame that Lanzini got his injury, because he was looking good those two games, and I think he just offers that little bit of difference. He's a ball carrier. He's one of the, Lingard's capable of doing it, and so is Lanzini. So it's a shame that Lanzini did pick it up, really. As long as it's not Astra Gugu. Can you imagine it? Don't like late Saturday night's kickoff, and don't like other games being on the same day as the FA Cup final. Yeah, it does take it away a little bit, doesn't it? Like, obviously, you watch the FA Cup final and it was like, oh, West Ham's on. It should always be last ever game of the season, FA Cup final. You pull up to that moment. The word spectacularness. It's meant to be the closing of the season. Then obviously after that, it's meant to be your Champions League final. So yeah, it's a shame, really. Anything else, guys? Anything else? We'll go to a little bit of steal it off West Ham Fan TV. Yeah, ask me anything. Go on. Let's have some ask anything questions to wrap it up with for the last sort of 10-15 minutes. Anything you want. Yeah. So you've all gone shy. Can I just put out there, guys? Please check out JP WHU TV. He's a really good guy. His live streams are really good. Interacts with everyone, reads out every comment. Obviously, the bigger channels obviously get about 600-700 comments a second. So it's very hard for them to read out all their comments. But obviously, you watch the slightly smaller channels, the interaction with the chat obviously a little bit more intimate and stuff like that. Right, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, guys, and if there's no questions that come in, I'm going to wrap it up there. Like I say, I think we're all still a little bit deflated. What's your favourite band? I'll be honest, mate, I'm not really into bands because I listen to a lot of like dancey sort of music. Where I used to be a DJ, and that obviously is more of a dance music sort of bloke. I do like stereotypical ones. Oasis, Stereophonics. I really like the Who as well. If you're talking classic bands, I love the Who. I love AC/DC as well. Absolutely love AC/DC. Yeah, it's more the classic, like the old school rockers that I like. AC/DC, and who I like just brilliant. You know, they're magnificent, the guitars and stuff. Which two football players would you like to see fight in the ring? Can't I stand? Harry Kane. But my two that I hate the most at the minute, we'll go Harry Kane and Bruno Fernandes. I can't stand it. Oh, and Salah. Can we make it a triple threat match? We'll put Salah in there as well. He's is 5 all over the place. Yeah, Salah, Fernandes, and Harry Kane, mate, in a triple threat match. Any more, guys? Any more questions? Literally more minutes, guys. That's all I'm going to do. So get your questions in quickly. And then more questions coming in. No. So I'll go to my little clock says 30, which is a minute and 30. Less questions coming. Anyone watching anything interesting at the moment? Any great TV shows? Like I say, I started watching Sopranos because I'd never ever watched it on season 6 now. What a magnificent program that is, you know, arguably one of the best TV shows ever made. And it's still, you know, to this day, still watchable. It's not dated or anything like that. Check it out if you've never watched it, guys. It's just a masterpiece. Every episode is like watching an episode of Goodfellas. Brilliant show. Fantastic show. Right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. You've all gone a bit shy. Thanks for joining in, guys. Yeah, I've heard about that one, mate. Jupiter Legacy as well. Yeah, that'll do for today, guys. I'll be back in the week to preview the West Ham game. Hopefully my throat's a little bit better. You know, we're in a slightly better mood, you know, up to these last couple of games now. And then obviously we've got the Euros to look forward to, haven't we, and the Olympics. And looks like AJ Joshua's going to be in August as well, you know. So we've still got some fantastic sport to look forward to in the off-season. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, come in your irons, keep believing.